Hey guys, Luke here, and I'm here to review my picks for the 2019 Dally M Medal Awards night. Now, I'll be honest, I was very close to doing a live reaction to this, but then I realized, yeah, the Dally M's are pretty boring. So I figured for most of the video, it'd just be me doing this, or this, or this. So yeah, I don't think it would make for a very good video. Therefore, I'm just going to go over my picks from yesterday. I actually think I did pretty well. I will be reviewing them all. So let's see what score I get at the end of the video. So fullback was the first one I did. Who did I pick? Especially considering I think Tedesco is going to win this easy, considering he's going to win the Dally M in my opinion. So there you have it. Absolutely smashed that one. I think 100% of the population would have picked James Tedesco. I mean, like I said in that little clip, I was pretty sure he was going to get the Dally M medal, so therefore he was going to get the fullback of the year as well. So that's fullback out of the way. Who did I pick for winger? Maybe Mamalo might be a good option, but I think I might go with, I'll just go with Blake Ferguson because I think that's who they'll pick. Yeah, got this one wrong, but kind of also did kind of get it right. I did say Mamalo would be a good choice. I just figured Ferguson would get it because, I mean, they didn't put Sivu in there, so I thought, I don't know, there's got to be a reason Sivu's not in there and Ferguson's in there considering they both play for the Eels. But Mamalo, I can't complain about that. I think it's a pretty good choice. Like I said, I nearly picked him anyway. So, yeah, Mamalo, winger of the year. Pretty happy with that one. Moving on to center of the year. I think this was probably one of the weaker ones and more obvious ones. Who did I pick, though? And also why Latrell Mitchell, actually not why, but Latrell Mitchell just is the best center at the moment. Just like Tedesco, I think this one was kind of a given. Latrell Mitchell, I thought was the best center by far, even though he got dropped by New South Wales. In terms of his club form, he was absolutely outstanding. So him getting center of the year, I think it fits. I'm happy with that one. Now we move on to 5'8". Now there are a few serious contenders here, so whoever it went to, I can't really complain, but who did I pick? I'm going to be surprised if they pick Munster, but for me, Luke Keary is your 5'8" of the year. So I got that one wrong. I can't say I'm surprised. I did mention that Munster was a pretty good candidate. I thought Luke Keary did have a better season, but Cameron Munster, you can't complain. The Storm, minor premiers, him at 5'8" was a big part of that. So yeah, like I said, you can't really complain. He did have a good season, but I thought Keary was a little bit better. So yeah, got that one wrong, and that's another one I've got wrong, so I think that's 2 in total. Hopefully we can hit back, though, as halfback. I'm pretty sure I got right. Who did I pick for halfback? I've never particularly rated Mitchell Moses, but this year he has been very good for the Eels. Finally sort of living up to his potential a bit, so yeah, I'd give it to Mitchell Moses. So halfback of the year, Mitchell Moses, possibly. So I absolutely nailed that one. Mitchell Moses, I thought, was the obvious one. Not because he was like so far above the... well, he was so far above the others, actually. But the halfback position was just quite a weak position in 2019, to be honest. So Mitchell Moses, he wasn't like a 10 out of 10 performer this year, but he was still a fair bit better than the other nominees. So yeah, Mitchell Moses, I thought was a pretty easy one. Now we move on to prop, which wasn't an easy one. There was Payne Haas, Dave Clemmer, Papali, a few candidates there. Who did I pick? And Payne Haas really carried the Broncos, and he's only, what, like 18, 19? Made his Origin debut. He had a very good year, but I think write him off this one because he's going to get Rookie of the Year. But yeah, Josh Papali, I'm going to pick him for Prop of the Year. So another one I got wrong. Papali, I thought he had a pretty good season. Payne Haas, I was looking at it and saying, yeah, maybe he probably is the best prop, but I thought they wouldn't give it to him just because he's a rookie. And also Papali, maybe I got drawn in just due to the recency bias. He's been very good as of late. But throughout the whole season, Payne Haas was outstanding. You can't really complain about him getting Prop of the Year. I just figured because he was going to get Rookie of the Year, well, I figured he'd get Rookie of the Year, that they wouldn't give it to him for Prop of the Year. But I was wrong. So I was wrong about the prop. Will I be wrong about the hooker position? Who did I pick? Cameron Smith led the Storm yet again. Realistically, he probably is the best player right now. Probably had the best season, but he's not going to get the credit he probably deserves because we all expect it from Cameron Smith. But I think for 2019, Damien Cook is your hooker of the year. So another one wrong, and I got to say, I'm a little bit shocked with this one. Now, I know Cameron Smith did poll very high in terms of actual Dally M. I know he went very close to winning it. But I thought Damien Cook overall had a better season. And Cameron Smith got to play during the Origin period and poll points during the Origin period. So I believe they've gone off points. I'm pretty sure that's how they've sort of picked these positions. So I guess that's why he's got Hooker of the Year. But yeah, Damien Cook, I thought pretty unlucky to miss out there. Even Josh Hodgson. But yeah, Cameron Smith, you can't argue. He's such a good player year in, year out. So, I mean, realistic, like I said in that little clip, he probably is the best hooker every year. But yeah, Damien Cook, I thought he was a bit unlucky, but Cam Smith, I can't complain. So 2 in a row, I got wrong. I think the second row of the year is a pretty obvious one. Who did I pick though? In terms of this lot, I'm going to say John Bateman for second row of the year. He just had a phenomenal season. So I absolutely smashed that one out of the park. John Bateman gets it. I think he gets it pretty easy considering who he was up against. Just had a really good season. It made it to the grand final. There's also that recency bias as well, similar to what I was talking about with Papali. where Raiders are killing it. He's been killing it. I think it was a no-brainer that John Bateman was going to get second row of the year, so smash that one. Now moving on to lock of the year, I think there were 2 real candidates, Jake Trbojevic, Cameron Murray. Who did I pick? Do I want to go Cameron Murray or Jake Trbojevic? I think I'm going to go Cameron Murray for this one. So I'm denied about this one, but I did eventually go for Cameron Murray. Absolutely smashed that one. Jake Trbojevic, and if he had got it, I mean, there was no complaints here. But yeah, Cameron Murray, luckily, I went for him, so that's another one I got right. So that's all the starters out of the way. Now we move on to the interchange player of the year. I think this one was a pretty straightforward one. Let's see who I picked. He can play hooker, he can play in the forwards. He's so versatile as well. He's the perfect utility player, and that's why Brandon Smith deserves to get interchange player of the year. So I've got that one right. Like I said in that little clip, everything I said about Brandon Smith is true. He's versatile, he's so good. Hooker, back row, he's just easily better than all the other interchange players. Now we're going to move on to Rook of the Year. I don't really need to talk about it, to be honest. We all know I picked Payne Haas. Just roll the tape anyways. Payne Haas, it's an easy one for me. Payne Haas, Rook of the Year. So yeah, another one right. Payne Haas just is easily going to be Rookie of the Year. Coach of the Year, though, a very hotly contested one. Let's see who I picked. Whoever gets it, I'm totally happy with. If I had to make a decision right now, I'm kind of thinking Ricky Stewart. So I got this one wrong. I did pick Ricky Stewart. I mean, you can't argue if Ricky Stewart had got it. I still think he probably should have. But Craig Bellamy, year in, year out, I mean, he takes his team to minor premiership after minor premiership. I don't know. Craig Bellamy getting it, I can't really complain. Like I said, whoever got it, I didn't really have any sort of problem with it. They all kind of deserved it to some degree. So Craig Bellamy getting it. The only thing is, what the hell was he wearing? That was a terrible suit. What is he doing? Now, for the next two, I didn't really talk about them too much, but I did talk about Captain of the Year. I did pick Cameron Smith. Just based off all the people who were nominated, I've got to give it to Cameron Smith. Essentially, it's kind of a given. Cameron Smith, like I said, like with Craig Bellamy getting Coach of the Year, Cameron Smith is like another coach. He's another referee. Best player in the world, you could argue. It was obvious he was going to get Captain of the Year. He's just so far above the rest. Then there was also the Women's Player of the Year. Didn't really know too much about these ones, but I believe I picked Jess Surgis. Pretty sure Jess Surgis has been killing it this year. So there you go. There's another two that I got right. So I'm pretty sure my overall sort of wins and losses in terms of my predictions is pretty darn good. Actually, I nearly forgot to talk about the actual Dally M medal itself. Who did I pick? James Tedesco is the favorite, and I think he's a favorite for a reason. I think he's been the best player. Now, we saw from the clip earlier, it was obvious I was picking James Tedesco, and I was right. Okay, another ding, another tick for that one. Let's see what my final score was with my predictions. So just to do a quick summary on all the ones I got wrong and all the ones I got right, I got the fullback one right, I got the winger one wrong, I got the center one right, I got the 5'8" wrong, I got the halfback right. It seems I'm going one right, one wrong at the moment. I did get prop and hooker wrong though. We did bounce back with second row and lock, so we got 2 wrong and then 2 right. Interchange I got right, Rookie of the Year I got right, Coach I got wrong, Captain of the Year I got right, and Women's Player of the Year I got right. So after all my predictions, I ended up with a score of 9 out of 14. That's pretty good. A few ones that I was very, very close, and I did kind of mention them, but then went with someone else. But yeah, overall, I thought I absolutely smashed it out of the park. 9 from 14, I'll take that every day. I will say though, a lot of them were quite obvious. Emmanuel Latrobe, Mitchell Tedesco, getting Dally M, fullback, all that sort of stuff. They were quite obvious. But still, 9 from 14, I'll take it. Leave in the comment section below, did you do any predictions? If you did, what was your score? Righto guys, that is where I'm going to end the video. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's on the screen right now, Mr. Luke on White T. My Facebook page is also in the description below. Going to be posting a fair bit about the grand final. I mean, it's grand final week. I'm going to be doing lots of tweets and Facebook posts. At least in theory, that's what I'm going to be doing. Anyway, guys, that's another Dally M video over and done with. 2019 nearly finished. Grand final is just around the corner. Still going to be posting plenty of videos, so stay tuned for them. Anyways, that's where this video ends. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for the next video. Bye, guys.